Clothes Jared Sporting here, and I wanted to bring you this video, 10 insanely large animals. Really sorry about the terrible camera. I will try to get a better one eventually. It's also nighttime right now, so sorry about that also. But I guess I'll just try to do this, you know. By the way, I'll be making the video 10 largest animals next week, or next Friday. This Friday will be 10 insanely large animals, and there will be animals that one particular species for some reason is just so much larger than what the size the animal normally grows to. So let's begin, shall we? Number 10 is the Japanese spider crab, which can, from claw to claw, can be up to 12 feet. Personally, I think that when these crabs are hunted, they must either sell for a lot of money at the market over in Japan, or they must just, whoever caught it must be eating good that night, I guess, you know? Because a lot of people do eat crabs, and even like crabs that are like only like a few feet can serve as a lot of food. You know, the body's like 2 feet long, so it have quite a large cluster also, you know. But number 9 is the African land snail, which the largest one on record currently is 15.5 inches long. And they're usually around 12 inches long, but this particular one was even larger than how large they normally are. And I personally think about this animal that if I were to find that, that'd be, I guess, interesting. I don't believe this animal loses its shell too often, or else over in Africa you'd be seeing a lot of large shells. Its shell is very distinct. It's usually spotted, and it's kind of like a cone shape, kind of like the shell you might see in a cartoon on the beach or something. It's just it's very interesting looking, so you couldn't really miss it. Number 8 is the giant huntsman spider. Which can have a lifespan of to 12 inches or more, which is around the size of a dinner plate. Now, Goliath spider can also have a lifespan of 12 inches, but it's more massive. But this giant huntsman spider's lifespan is just a little bit larger, as it's sometimes more than 12 inches. And the Goliath spider is also known as the Goliath bird eater. If you didn't know what I was talking about at first, I was just calling it the Goliath spider because that is another name for it. But most people know it as the Goliath bird eater. So number 7 is the Atlas moth, which can have a wingspan of around 12 inches. It's called that, I guess, because it is around the size of an atlas. And its wings are not very easy to miss. You know, they're very distinct looking. You'd have to have really poor eyesight to miss this thing. It looks like a moth, just way larger. Its body doesn't look too much bigger than a regular moth, but its wings are just insanely large. It doesn't really look like a bird, even if it was flying up in the sky. It is around the size of a small bird, however. Number 6 is the giant centipede, which can be over 14 inches long. It's also very fast. It can run at around 10 miles per hour. And I believe the centipede is decently poisonous, not poisonous enough to kill a person, but poisonous enough to cause irritation of the skin. And you'll find this probably in some tropical jungles over in South America. Not too common, however, there are many videos you can find on YouTube of this particular creature fighting with certain kinds of smaller snakes and winning, such as maybe like a corn snake or some other kind of snake like of that similar size. Number 5 is the Goliath frog, which can be around 13 inches long. This creature is very huge. It's very rare, also found usually in Africa, in that area, other tropics like that. One frog you may have heard of that is also very large is the bullfrog, which can be around 5 inches long. It is one of the top 5 largest frogs, I believe. But this frog is not very common, the Goliath frog, but the bullfrog is very common. You'll usually hear it croaking by a pond. Number 4 is the Goliath grouper, which I don't know if you heard about recently. This giant grouper ate like a 4-foot shark. Now, a Goliath grouper can be around 9 feet, or like the size of a really big refrigerator, or like a really small car, I guess. I mean, 9 feet long makes it one of the largest bony fish in the world. There are other large groupers, but this is technically the largest one in the world. Number 3 is the colossal squid, which can be up to 46 feet long. Now this creature is known to lurk in the really deep oceans, and that's why it wasn't discovered until recently. It eats small fish and invertebrates. It in itself is an invertebrate. It's the largest invertebrate in the world. I personally find this creature to be very fascinating, how it took so long for people to discover such a large creature, which makes me believe that megalodons could have been the same way. I do believe that the megalodon is still alive today. There is footage on like official channels like Animal Planet and Discovery, so I do believe that that animal is real, but I will talk about that at a different time. Number 2 is the lion's mane jellyfish, which is commonly accepted as the longest animal in the world. Largest animal being the blue whale out of all animals alive today, that is. For the lion's mane jellyfish, the largest one ever fully documented was around 120 feet long. Some blue whales have claimed to be longer, or people claim that there was blue whales longer, but those were not documented well enough, as they're either really old documents or just something else made up. Now, number 1 is the bootlace worm, which was found in the mid-1800s to be 180 feet long. However, this worm was stretched out. They're usually only a few millimeters in length. This one was 5.5 inches in length. Width. They're usually only a few millimeters in width. This one was 5.5 inches in width, 180 feet long. Sorry I made that mistake there. But so it is not accepted as the longest animal in the world alive today. However, there was a dinosaur at one point that was around 200 feet long, so that is considered the largest animal ever to live. Alright, well that is it for now. Peace, love, and much respect.